Let's go ahead and get our database up and running so that we can connect our microservice to it. So in here, what I want you to do is under the root folder of microservices right here. So Amigos services, actually, go ahead and say new and then file, name this as Docker -compose dot and then YAML, and then press enter. Now inside, I'm going to paste some YAML configuration, which you can find under the description of this video. And if you want to learn more about Docker, go ahead and check my website. I've got a course teaching you everything you need to know about Docker. But in a nutshell, so let's just start from the top. We've got services. This is Postgres. And then this is my container right here. The image is Postgres. I'm exposing the ports. And then this is the network. And right here, I've got PGAdmin. So this is the graphical user interface client. So I'm giving the name and then passing some environment variables to connect to it and exposing the port 5050 to 80 inside of the container. And right here, I've got the networks so that they can talk to each other, and then some volumes to store some data. So once you have this file, and make sure it's named as docker-compose.yaml. So you can actually run this from here if you have the Ultimate Edition, and if not, I'm going to show you how to run it through the terminal. So in here, open up your terminal or command line and make sure that you are within the project. So I'm going to type ls, and you can see that I do have this docker-compose.yaml. Now to get things up and running, just type docker space and then compose and then up and then -d for detach. Press enter, and you can see that it's creating the network. And now it's creating the containers, so the PGAdmin as well as the database. And there we go. So you can see that this was super quick. You can type docker compose and then ps, and you can see that we do have PGAdmin, which is listening on port 5050, and the Postgres, which is listening on port 5432. So now that we have this database, let's connect to it. So open up your web browser, and in here type localhost and then 5050. Press enter. Just give it a second, and there we go. So you can see that, oops, the font is too big. So now we need to set a master password. So I'm just going to say password. Right, so now let's basically add a new server. And in here, I'm going to basically name this as Amigos code. And the connection, so in here, the host, this will be Postgres. And this is because we're connecting from a container to another container right here. So if I show you inside of services, have a look, networks, Postgres in here. So this guy right here uses the exact same Postgres, or the exact same network, which is Postgres. So PGAdmin uses Postgres, and right here, this is how we define the network so that these two containers can talk to each other. And if PGAdmin wasn't running with Docker, you would need to say local and then host. So this is Postgres, the port is 5432, leave the database maintenance, the username, so this is Amigos code, and the password is password. There we go. I can save the password, and to be honest, this is it. So click on save, and you can see that we managed to connect to our database. So I can click on it, and ta-da, you can see that there is not much information in here, but basically if I expand in here, you can see that we have databases, and by default we have Amigos code and Postgres. So now we have a database that we can work with. Next, let's configure our microservice to connect to it.